Mango Groove has just celebrated its 40th birthday, and I had the privilege of interviewing songbird Claire Johnston. You'll find in this interview that Claire is open, honest, she's vulnerable, she's also vivacious and an incredible singer. And if you stick around till the end, she might even break out into song for you to enjoy.
3, 2, 1!
Hello everybody, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming to a Life in the Garden event at Potted Glass Studio today. As part of the Linden meander. That should really confuse everyone. Welcome, Claire. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Honestly, it's an honor.
Does anybody not know who this is? Do you need an introduction? No. I was trying to tell Becky's the black guy you see wandering around.
I might be the person who doesn't know who I is.
Who I is? You is a pottery student.
I am a pottery student.
Yes.
And a massive fan of you.
This is a mutual admiration club. It is.
It's true.
So I was trying to tell Becky who Mango Groove is, because it's not really his kind of music. And I thought, well, I'll sing him something. And at that point I realized I can't actually sing.
You can't be good at everything.
Damn it! But my first off, they have to drive around with me singing along to the radio. But I was trying to sing Mango Groove out of my head. Like, like special stuff. Like, no, you can't do that, because clearly you cannot sing. When did you realize you could sing?
I was 3. I was 3 years old. I remember being praised for singing. And if you cast back in your imaginations when you were little and someone praised you, it was big. And so I sang more and more, and then at nursery school I got the lead part in the little nursery school production. I was the only one who sang a solo.
So what did you sing? Do you remember?
I had a little nutmeg, nothing more than there, ba-da-da-da-dee-dee, and a golden bear. Da-na-na-na-dee-dee-dee-dee. I can't remember the lyrics.
If I had known you were going to sing, I would have charged them more.
Dee-dee-dee-dee, or less. A little nut tree. And there was a woman in the audience, and I'm showing my age. Well, you all know now, but I was 3 in.
We don't have to say.
We haven't disclosed.
No, we don't have. We have a
No,
non-disclosure agreement.
No, non-age disclosure agreement. So one of the pupils at my nursery school, his mother was a famous actress, Elizabeth Hamilton. And she played the role of Tracy Dark. Anyone remember that?
No, the
radio.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said to my mum, "Do put your daughter on the stage." Mrs. Johnston, quoting that famous line of "Do put your daughter on the stage," Mrs. Wellington. And I think then I got a shot in the arm. Like, you can do this. And so I did.
Yeah, but were you still 3, or did we progress to like 5 or 6 at this point?
No,
I mean, are we moving in time, or are we just sitting like at nursery school level?
It was like a sense of my singing isn't just for me, it's for other people as well.
Because this was basically a gift. Have you had formal training? I mean, did you?
I had a year of what they call kind of vocal, what's it called? Where you learn how to manage your voice. So I'm not classically trained. I don't know how to read music. And in some ways it's a disadvantage, but in other ways it's wonderful because you just learn it by ear. And then you just feel your way through things. And that's been
also, you're not learning by like rote. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
No, fantastic. So tell us the journey. So now we're on the stage, are we?
So my childhood was chaotic. My mom and dad got divorced. My father was
not pleasant.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it there.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
And then mum and I moved to Parkhurst, where I am right now, which is wonderful. And I suddenly felt like free and happy. And I saw an ad in the Star newspaper.
The Special Star newspaper.
That's what it should have been called. So the Star newspaper, which my mum got religiously every evening when she'd come home from work. Auditions for little girls between the age of 6 and 13. for a show called Annie. And I was obsessed. I said, Mum, I want to audition for this. And she was so frightened and protective. And she said, no, my love, I don't think you're qualified. There could be all these little Shirley Temple kind of replicants. And anyway, I went, and long audition process. And I got in. And I'll never forget the moment that in His Majesty's Theatre, and the results were announced, and I was somewhere down there, my mum was somewhere at the back, possibly smoking a cigarette.
Not a joint or anything?
No, definitely not a joint, but possibly a cigarette. And then it was announced that I was in the show, and she came roaring down the aisle at His Majesty's, and I came roaring up, and we hugged each other, and she said, oh my gosh, you know, she was so excited and so surprised.
So what were you playing?
Tessie the Crybaby.
Who's Tessie the Crybaby?
She's the one who opens the show. So the show.
So it's basically a headliner,
huh? In some ways. So the curtains. I'll never forget this feeling. You know, they had these sort of 7 cast iron beds, classy production, like proper. And the curtains would open, and then I had to go. I don't even remember, but I had to go, and then someone had to kind of say, oh, shut up, Tessie. But I literally opened the show with a cry. But it was amazing, and we toured the country. So for 3 months, I was away from home and school.
And you were how old at this point?
I was 10.
Okay, so that's huge to be away from home. Did your mum come with you, or was she working?
No.
So you had chaperones and.
We had chaperones. We had, interestingly, when I came home from the whole tour, I did really well at school. I got mostly A's. We had really good tutors, and we just had the best time. We were sort of little grown-ups. Never forget Durban. We used to do, because we were 3. You know, it was 3 lots of orphans. So you don't overwork kids. That was the labour law back then, rightly so. So we'd have a couple of nights off, and on nights off, and it was beautiful, balmy Durban evenings, we'd go down to the fairground and we would sing for rides. Honestly, we had the best. There was a whole thing. We went through the water and up again, and and it was crazy. We were like young adults.
Was that Brick Hill Burke?
It was.
Exactly.
So you Brick Hill Burke, Joan. And those two were a formidable combination. Louis Burke and Joan Brick Hill.
I actually saw that show.
I'm sure I did too.
I'm pretty sure I went with my friend Donna, and we went to see Annie.
It was such a great. What was wonderful about Brick Hill Burke is they got the rights to the shows, and then they would put on an exact, perfect replica. You know, it was classy, it was proper. It wasn't scaled down. It was big.
Okay, so we're done. Did you ever actually sing the part for Annie? Did you ever get an opportunity to?
No, so I was too young. The Annies were generally like 3-4 years older than me. So you had Tessie the Crybaby. We were all like, there were 3 of us who played those roles. 10, 11 was our age. And then the Annies were older.
So what happened after Annie?
After Annie, I realised and I think my mum accepted that this was going to be my path. So I got an agent. I did a couple of Pact productions. If anyone remembers Pact?
Nice.
And those were also like high quality productions. I was in Evita and a thing called the Archon, which was a bit odd. Always an orphan. Always playing an orphan.
We love you, Claire.
I know.
Oh, you've got a family here. You don't have to worry.
It was so interesting that I just kept playing orphans, but it was my age range. And then after that, you get to an awkward age, I think, where you are not a woman, you're sort of betwixt and between.
Yeah. The gangly age.
Gangly in what happened with me is it was like a balloony age. Fell at the back of pictures.
I've had that my whole life. There's been the balloon age, the pear age, the watermelon age.
I'm not even gonna go there with you, silly girl. No, so then, it's brutal, that whole industry where you need to look a certain way. Oh my goodness, before I forget, I got a milk powder commercial.
Oh.
No, I know, and I earned money, which went into a bank account that I had. But I remember now, it was me with two wholesome looking people, a woman and a man, and I'm the child, and I'm like a little bit chubby and healthy looking. Obviously, with all this milk powder I'm drinking, I'm very healthy. And I had to say, hey, this milk's creamy. And I also got to do the Afrikaans. Hi, you milk's ruwer. And I got money for that. If I were to find you the picture of that today, because it was in magazines as well, I'm like, oh no, but it was part of the journey. And so then after that, I did nothing. I settled back into school.
Where did you go to school?
Greenside High School. So Parkhurst Primary. So when my parents divorced, I was at Bryandale, and then I was at Parkview, and then I was at Parkhurst. Parkhurst was so happy for me. That whole...
You were settled then?
And the school was part of the community.
Yeah.
It was so healthy.
In the middle of the community anyway.
Yeah.
And then Greenside, so you matriculated
at Greenside. I matriculated there, and while I was at Greenside, I was in a teenage band in Observatory, and we used to do cover versions like "We're the Kids in America," wow, we're the kids in America. We did that stuff, and the guy who set up the band is now one of the most successful real estate agents in New York.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
There's a far cry from singing in a band.
But such a clever guy. So just so interesting how people went on to do different things after that. And then of course, I joined Mango Groove. But the whole plan, I guess, was to do drama at university. And then I ended up joining a band. I was on Saturday mornings, I was working in the gift shop in Rosebank, Lower Rosebank, and then always looking for something to do with music. And I was having singing lessons with people as well, and she got a call from one of the guys in Mango Groove saying, looking, quote unquote, for your best female singer, and she sent me along. And it was like a weird introduction.
So it wasn't like love at first sight with the band?
I'd seen them at the Wits Free People's Concerts back in the day where it was still at Wits. It's been 85, 85, April, March, and I went with friends, and I'd gone to see Void. And by the time I got to the front of the stage, this weird band called Mango Groove. And I thought, I like what they're doing. There was saxophones and there was all that sort of interesting stuff. But where was the front person? There was no singer. And, speaking as someone who sings, I was just shocked by that. Little known that I would soon be that person.
So how did it evolve? So you joined Mango Groove as the lead singer?
Yes.
And who did all the writing and...
So there were songs already written, and then once I joined the band, we started writing, as a band.
Did they change their sound at all, or did the sound sort of come with you?
I think that having a person who I always saw myself as a singer, and I was that person, the whole band started to revolve. When I saw the band without a singer, they, I think, realized they didn't have that person, and I became that person, which was amazing and weird and scary. It's one thing. This is what I found so strange. It's one thing to act a part where you you've got your lines and you are playing Matilda, and she's of an age, and you've got the lines and you throw yourself into that. When you're on stage as a singer and it's just you've got your band around you, you've got your support. But who am I in this context?
Did you suffer from imposter syndrome?
I still do.
You? Why? The years down the line here,
No,
you are
no.
a superstar.
Hardly. I always have struggled with that. I think it is that sense of, like, who am I in this? And you've got to really. So what you start doing is you start channeling the people you love. So for me, Ella Fitzgerald,
Fabulous.
Billie Holiday, Debbie Harry. And then you start sort of standing there and you're glamming yourself up, but you're still awkward. And you have the media saying, she's awkward. And then you hear that and you go, oh, I can't do this. And then you have to just tune that out and carry on. And the stages get bigger. You start, and it's a small stage, and you're standing there and you're being small. And then you start to do bigger venues, and then you've got to project. You've got to own the stage. You've got to stride the stage. I found that so difficult. Not being able to inhabit a character is what I'm trying to say.
But what were the other band members like? I mean, were they supportive of you? Because you were quite young. I mean, we're talking about a youngster. Yeah.
So here's the weirdness in all of it is I was the baby. I was 17. Mickey was 64. Mickey had served in World War II in the entertainment corps. Black South African. And then we had George Lewis, who was coloured. Everyone was chaotic. You know, when I say chaotic, it's a wrong expression. Everyone came from pain and difficulty, and we were doing what we did, but we almost didn't know what we were doing, but we believed in it, even though we didn't know what we were doing. I don't know if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense. Only because I know it's you.
Because there's this thing of, it's not being encouraged, being people of mixed race on stage together. It's not.
That was my next question.
No, it's not allowed. No. And yet we were doing it. And honestly, if I hadn't been 17, say I'd been 37, I don't know, would I have done it? Maybe I wouldn't. I'd like to think I would.
Was there any drama when you travelled in terms of accommodation
Massively.
and travelling together? And
yeah, no, massively. There are several examples. I mean, John was arrested in Soweto because it was almost like a reverse of the past laws, where he was driving Jack Lerole back to Soweto after 9 o'clock. And you remember the past laws where you, after dark, if you're a black person in the white suburbs, good luck, you're going to get arrested. So John was doing the reverse. He was driving Jack, and he got pulled over by the police, and he ended up in jail in Soweto. His mum had to come and bail him out the next day, and he was 20 years old. But that was what it was. That was how irrational. It was irrational. The whole system was irrational. Anyway, so that was an example earlier, and then later on, we broke down numerous times. We were always driving these wonky combis, all of us crammed in to go from here to Cape Town. And this was before the time of the amazing sort of ultra cities and the beautiful bathrooms, and which we all look forward to landing at, where you can get your chicken mayo and your whatever you want, your coffee. This was different. And so we broke down outside a hotel, and we just wanted to seek refuge. And they said, yeah, well, you can come in, and you can come, but not you.
And you were a big band at that point, weren't you?
We were 11 at this point. And they wouldn't let the black members of the band into the hotel. So we all said, well, stuff you. And we just, I don't know what we did. We got someone to come and find us. But again, no cell phones. This was a different time. It was a very basic time. And we made a plan. I can't remember how we did that. But we ended up, I'll never forget, on the flatbed truck. And most of us were still in the combi. And we were driven into the hotel. And we're doing this massive tour. It was 1987, with this exciting university tour, and all very glamorous. And there, Mango Groove arrives on the back of a flatbed.
You can use it as your stage as well.
You know, if only we thought about that.
So, at what point did you and John become an item?
Okay, so interestingly, John, when I first met him, founding member of Mango Groove, and Mango Groove grew out of a punk band called Pet Frog. And he was always in love with South African music. He grew up in Zambia. He loved the music of Spokes Mashiane. So when he came to South Africa at the age of 10, he just, by the time he was 17, he was doing this punk band thing. I think he ended up going to a place called Loafers Corner, outside of Gallo Music, because all the record companies used to be in town. So John, I think, went there and not hung out, but was checking out, musicians, and he met Jack Lerole. And that's when I think Mango Groove became Mango Groove. Yeah.
That wasn't my question though.
What was it?
Well, who's going to remind me what my question was?
When John and I become an item.
Yes.
I think I'm dodging that.
Yeah, I noticed. Could you answer the question?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm failing.
Were you 20 at that point, or were you 18? I mean,
when John and I got
Yeah.
involved. No, so John and I became, when I first met him, I was terrified of him. He's 6'5". He back then had a shock of like white blonde hair, chaotic. I didn't understand neurodiversity back then.
most people still don't.
I know, I was waiting for a laugh there. No, I don't either. So we became colleagues and then friends, and then we were on the road together, and I realized, and I almost needed my person to be with me all the time.
Are you saying you're needy, Claire? Okay, you're allowed to be needy.
I'm very needy.
And he obviously didn't enjoy that.
No,
But you were together all the time. I mean, you were on the road together.
No, listen, we did well for a long time. We were together for more than 20 years.
So what age did you get married?
What made us get married?
No, what age did you get married?
I was 31 and he was 35.
Oh, so you were together a long time.
We were. No, we were. But I mean, I think we were both feeling the pressure. I don't know if anyone has ever experienced that, where you feel that thing of, well, you've been in a relationship for such a long time, you should get married. And sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's just like, maybe just let it be. Whatever's working is working.
And how long were you married for?
12 years.
So I mean, you had a substantial time together.
No, he's still one of my best friends. I mean, he drives me insane, and I drive him insane, and there's a closeness, but it's not what it was, because it can't be what it was, because we have, I'm involved with someone else, he's involved with someone else, but there's still that sense of we come together in terms of like the Mango story and important things.
So now tell us about Mango Groove today. Where are we as a band today?
We're good. I think the band is better than ever. In that it's more real.
How many of the original team are there still?
3. So Beulah, brace yourselves, is 78.
Oh wow.
John is 63 and I'm 58. We're the 3 that have survived that whole thing where people literally died or emigrated. No, it's been amazing. I mean, it's a real slice of South Africa.
It's still a big band.
11.
Okay, that's a serious time.
Yeah. And we do stuff. With the pointers of mangoes, we're so, we're unwieldy because it's 11 people. But we want to do it properly, so we don't do a lot of shows because we don't want to compromise on the quality of that whole thing. So when I joined the band, we were probably 7 or 8 people. And then when we recorded that first album, we added the backing vocalists, and it became 11. And then you realize you just don't want to compromise on that big. It's like a big experience. Like it's noisy and chaotic and crazy. So we're, and then...
Has the quality of the car improved?
That's a very good question. I think it has. If I think back, if I'm really honest, if I think back to how I felt as a young girl when I joined Mango Groove, everyone was older than me. I didn't have the same point of contact that I do now have with the band. It was different. It's more real for me. I am one of the elder statespeople, and part of me doesn't realize that.
So what about Claire Johnston, the solo act?
I have tried it. I had high hopes.
Her song? High apple pie, sky post.
No, that's definitely on the cards, for sure. There's so many things I want to do, and I think I was out of love with myself for a long time. I was in a very dysfunctional relationship for a while, and I feel much brighter and better and more accepting of love and possibility than I ever have. So yeah, I honestly think anything is possible. I mean, look, I'm doing pottery.
I know. Do you know how long I had to beg her to come and do this Sunday luncheon stories? We had to. I was on my knees.
I was so uncertain. I'm confident in some ways. You know, if I'm on stage with the band, I can fake it a bit. I can do the whole, when the stars. I can do that. But then the being personal thing, I'm a bit frightened of that stuff. But I'm getting better.
You are getting
You're doing good.
And her pottery is fantastic.
Is it really?
Today's been great.
If you look at your first piece,
So now,
yeah. So Paul in finance hasn't thrown that out, has he? Because you've got to keep that first
He's throwing
piece.
nothing out.
Oh, good.
Nothing.
You just throw his underwear out. So there's
No,
policy in their house.
I'm buying him new
Are
underwear.
you buying me underwear?
I am.
For everything she wants to bring home, she's got to throw 2 things out. So just put out his socks.
He's actually not holding fast to that. He isn't.
For how long?
No, I'm it's a war of attrition. I'm grinding him down. No, I'm joking. And that's all good. So my new partner is he's very minimalist. And I'm not. No, so
Sorry for him.
what's happening is we're compromising and we're doing it well. Which is lovely.
So what does the future hold, Claire? What are you doing now?
I honestly, for the first time, I'm feeling so excited about the future because I'm feeling loved and connected. I think I've struggled with that all my life, is that connection. I'm feeling that.
I'm very
I'm
impressed.
strong enough.
You're not scared to share your vulnerabilities with us. I think that's actually pretty amazing.
I don't think
Most
we
of us
should
put on
ever.
this.
No.
I'm invincible.
Why? I mean, we're all humans together and we're all struggling with our personal things. And I just, I feel safe to be vulnerable with all of you. And I do think it's helpful. I'm not doing this as a, it's not a public broadcast.
That's
thing.
live. That's live. It's going out to 10,000 people.
That's fine. I have no problem.
All my fans.
I have no problem with it. I feel safe enough and strong enough in myself to be able to say that being vulnerable is what is giving me strength. It is.
Tell them about your new venture.
Which one?
Curiously, Claire.
Oh, so I have a new venture. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm doing a podcast, which I'm a little bit frightened about, but it's called Curiously Claire. And the hope is going to take me all around the world where I interview people and taste delicious food and experience life. But we're starting off just talking to people who I think are interesting, and hopefully there's I draw them out and we find each other. I mean, that's what I'm realizing as I get older. I just want that feeling of honesty. I can't do fake anymore.
Do you feel you're an influencer?
No, I mean, influencer thing, no, I've never thought of myself as that.
No, but like now, if you're heading into social media, doing a podcast,
That frightens me.
you do become it's a different kind of out there for Claire.
Mm-hmm.
It's this seat.
I'm frightened of that because I'm frightened of the judgment. When people suddenly come in and they go, well, she's this and she's that and the other, and I've realized I'm really sensitive to that stuff. It frightens me. So I'm frightened, but I will see where it goes. If it gets too rough, I'll pull back.
So who have you interviewed so far?
I've interviewed PJ Powers, Nick Rabinovitz and Kurt Darren.
So tell us about Kurt Darren.
So Kurt and I we go quite a way back, where he sang on a Mango Groove album.
Oh, did you?
He did.
Did you share the stage?
He
Is
has.
there enough space on the stage for both?
We've shared several stages. Kurt, what everyone needs to understand, Kurt has the voice of an angel. And what we talk about in the podcast is the fact that he wants to hear that from him. They want to hear Hop Hop Spin Kop. They want to hear Macy Macy. They want to hear. And I've connected with him so much on that, because as much as I love being with Mango Groove, part of me is a rock chick. Part of me is we've all got these different identities that we want to explore. And once you are niched, once you're set in a certain way, people see you in a certain way, good luck. They're going to just keep seeing you that way.
I want to see Claire the rock chick.
So, I think I'll...
Get on the table, Claire. Let's
I need Tom on guitars right now. No, so you understand this. It's like, we all get this, that you get pigeonholed. People see you in a certain way. That's rough. And yet you've got to celebrate that you've been successful in a certain way, and that's wonderful too. So we spoke about that a lot. And with PJ, we spoke about what it is to be a woman in the music industry, in the ever-changing music industry. And back in the day, she and I we had different managers, but they were both kind of brutal, actually.
Ooh.
And how it changes you and shapes you.
Misogynistic.
Oh, but all of it and more. And, trying to find the self-love, trying to love yourself in this world. And the music industry is harsh in that sense. And then Nick Rabinovitz.
Was he funny? He's actually funny in person.
He actually is. Well, we just really connected on the level of just stuff, like random things where we made each other laugh.
So it's a really serious podcast.
Yes, it's extremely serious. But I think it's kind of honest.
I think we're getting the sense that honesty is the way to go for you.
I can't.
You're quite happy to.
Thing. I spent so much of my life as a child pretending my father didn't do what he did, and then pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. And honestly, I don't see the point of it. Why? I can't do that anymore. I just have to be real and myself. And if people don't like it, then I have to try and cope with that, because I don't do well with that. I have to learn to cope with it.
Is there a book in the offing?
It's so interesting. I'm meeting with a publisher.
Oh, excuse me.
Next week.
Who are you meeting with?
Someone from Johnson Ball Publishing. But I initiated it. And my idea, which I thought was a genius idea, I said, because I know the publisher, and I said, what about I write a book about my life, but it's fiction. She came back and she said, well, it's tough out there in the fiction world, because people, it's competitive. What would be better if you were to be honest about your life, and authenticity, and I sort of digested it, and I went back to saying, no, of course I understand that, but I'm not ready to do that. Anyway, we're meeting, and we'll see what happens, but I am frightened of too much.
You don't have to tell the secrets. You just make it up. I mean, it's your life.
I've realised I'm not like that. I kind of end up just going,
I just play it all out.
Yeah.
We just vomit everything out.
No.
No.
Hopefully never vomiting, but a little bit of vomiting, but not too much.
Just enough bile to get you going.
Man, you're so delicately put.
Oh, yes.
Perfect.
So good, Karen, again, what's your name? Why do I work?
You couldn't catch his name.
Told me to be polite earlier. What were we saying? Carol, where do your trousers come from? Because they're fabulous.
What are you talking about?
Did you buy them yourself, or did you?
No, it was a gift. They a gift.
Oh, they're fantastic. Because I said, Carol, do those come from Temu? And Kathy said, that's not the way you say that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Sorry, a little digression.
No, not at all. I'm relieved with the digression.
Okay. I would like to open the floor to questions, and I can see I've already got one over here. Go for it, Karen. Let's hear.
I've been fulminating over this. What is your most memorable performance ever?
Oh, it's a tough one because there have been many for different reasons.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like your first this or your first that. Oh. You know, emotionally, I have to go to 1994 inauguration of Mandela.
Yeah.
It was a global event. Think back to 1994. We were back. South Africa was back on the world stage. We were all that optimism. You know, the airplanes were flying over with a new flag. It was that hope. So that was amazing. And I remember I wasn't feeling my best self. I think I had something like a stomach bug or something. But my goodness, when I got into that stage, I pulled myself straight because there was this massive crowd. And it was satellite linked around the world. So emotionally, from that point of view, that was huge. But there have been smaller ones. I'm going to answer you.
Go on.
First time we, performed internationally,
Yeah.
Paris. Rock Against Racism was big.
Oh, okay. Did you do any of the 4664?
We did not. And our manager, we let him go. He left us out of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a chapter for the book. No.
There you go.
No, the book's going to not be toxic. But no, sadly not. And I'd met Madiba before he was president.
Yeah.
But Roddy had control over all of that and he left us out. But no, that would have been a good one.
Lou, you are the only man in the audience.
I see that.
Gosh, you are.
Apparently,
I can barely see you because the light is favouring you and not me.
apparently you're his crush.
God bless you.
Well, I love music, so
Oh, so it's not Claire that's the crush, it's the music. Ingrid, you lied to
Good
me.
answer. Good answer. You good answer.
He's gone all shy.
Are you shy? Did I put you on a spot?
Yes.
That's the object of my life.
Oh, good luck.
Go on, ask me a question.
well, we already had a discussion outside, so I don't know what other questions to ask.
Well, ask
You don't
we weren't
have
part of your
to.
discussion outside, so tell us.
to.
I'm coming back to you. Anybody else? Go for it. Jane.
So this morning I go onto Spotify and I just say play Mango Group. So I had a whole morning of that. I'm curious, do you get 0.0001 cent every single time?
No, it's awful.
And
It's awful. And Apple is slightly better, Spotify's the worst.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I mean, what has happened is artists now have to just perform more. And that's how you earn your money, through performance fees and merchandise, but live performances. Otherwise, you're getting nothing. Unless you hit like 1 billion streams, then you're doing well. Otherwise, no. But thanks, that's a great question. We're all grappling with that. It's awful, in my view.
How much
Hasn't
is
it
it
always
actually?
been?
It's not.
Has it always been awful?
So how much is it actually on Spotify? She said 0.00.
I don't even know. I don't even track it because it's so minimal.
Less
Just.
than a cent.
And I get a statement occasionally where I get like 23 rand or something. No, I mean you can't.
You get rich on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but it's what it is, and
Spend it all at once.
got myself a glass
You
of
can't
wine.
even get a cup of coffee. Don't spend it all at once. I think you might get a Mini Crisp is 22 rand these days.
No,
Is
you've
that-
got to.
Sorry, is that figure divided by 11 of
No, that'll generally no. It's a good question. So often it's who wrote the song, and then whoever performed. It's even smaller. No, it's awful. It's not
So other
sustainable.
band members don't get any money.
Some people who haven't contributed to the recordings and who haven't written, no, they get nothing.
So how do
But
they
that-
make a living?
Who cares?
Okay.
No, what I mean is the original people who were that team who wrote the music, and they get almost nothing. And then the people who, we've hired over the last 20 years, they get performance fees because they weren't part of the original recording. So then they're safe. And they can perform live a lot. Whereas the moment I perform live, there's a sense of, well, it's Mango Groove. And so then I don't perform a lot because I don't want to compromise the integrity of the band. So that's its own other discussion, really. That's my own little internal drama. So it makes any sense. Sort of not, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to know about when you first met Madiba. Bit about that.
So I'd become very good friends with Dolly Tumbo. And
Yes, I know him.
Shame.
I've worked with him. It wasn't fun and good.
I'm sorry.
You've worked with him as well, huh? Yeah.
But so he and I met in 92, 93. Became good friends. We used to go for these amazing lunches and just, we were really good friends back in the day. And then we went to functions together and I met Madiba, before the inauguration. And I was just so struck by. He's just so tall and it was a kindness that I was struck by. I feel very happy to have felt that energy. It was like a beam of
Like an aura.
generosity
Yeah.
and aura. Yeah. Exactly.
Leo, are you ready for me?
No.
Are you intimidated by all these women?
No, I'm listening to all this.
Can you remember the question he asked you outside?
No, it wasn't a question. We were just discussing life.
Life.
The best thing to discuss,
Nice.
And
right?
values and how to bring up children, although Claire hasn't got any of her own, but
She's got a dog.
see, I was listening.
You were listening, thank you.
In her relationship now, she has three children of her partner.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she has experience with what it's like to have children. So, I'm telling you a bit of Claire's life without her saying.
Say.
Lou will be ghostwriting the book for you.
Maybe you will.
I know he'll be buying a copy.
Thank you.
We can have a launch here as well.
I've got all the music,
That would be
so
nice.
Have you got records or you got CDs?
I've got a whole massive music room. But I'm like a bit obsessed with music. So
Oh wow,
It's beautiful.
you sound quite interesting, Lou.
I am actually.
Apparently, okay.
Ask my wife.
Ask your wife.
Yeah.
I'll get to you
She
later.
doesn't come up to the music room, but it's more band
Is she allowed to come into the music room?
Absolutely.
Does she need an invitation?
She just needs
I
to
just don't know how anything works in there.
So he keeps it mysterious.
Does he get clean?
No,
No, I wondered about that.
Yes, I have to occasionally send people up.
Karen, did you have another question?
Yes, at the risk of overtaking everyone else, it is a difficult business. I was in it for
Yeah.
5 or 6 years.
She's a groupie.
And before you, because I just looked it up, because kind of the end of my career in the industry was the 702 concert in the park, and Mango Groove didn't perform.
And I'm immediately shazamming. And in fact, my partner calls me a teenager. I'm always on my phone doing these things. And yet part of me hates it. And yet I'm part of the problem. But I'm not sure how we turn that clock back or put the genie back in its box. That's my concern. I don't think we can. So the Mike Fullers and the Roddy Quinns, they, I think, don't have the power they once had.
True.
We have different demons now, in my view. So I'm not sure how one actually makes friends with those. You have to make friends with it. I'm still processing. Gone are the days of, you still have people who release albums. You'll have let's think of Muse might release an album. Coldplay might release an entire album, where it's the whole experience and people download the entire thing. But let's face it, the moment you hear someone's releasing a song or an album, it's track by track. So you'll get onto onto Apple Music, and there's the first song, and the next song is going to be released 3 weeks later.
It's not the storytelling it used to be.
It's not the journey. Exactly, it's not the journey that we used to have. And I'm not sure what's going to shift that. Especially young people are just used to consuming music like that. And I think of myself as a 58-year-old woman, and I'm consuming music like that. So I can't judge kids.
We don't have an attention span anymore.
My attention span has gone to hell.
That's more than 8 minutes. I won't watch.
8 minutes?
I'm the same.
I've got a 3-minute threshold, I'm afraid. You write a paragraph, I'm going to read the first part and jump to the bottom. Because I can read all of that.
The way people are writing songs, or they're being taught to if they are indeed writing songs, it's not because let's face it, a lot of songs these days are written by a committee. You've got to grab attention immediately. So have like a hook, like a massive hook, and then you can maybe have a song. If you're not going to come in with the hook, good luck.
I like what some of the bands are doing. Like, I don't know if anybody follows Sons of Legion. They record themselves playing and then they put it on Facebook. So you can be scrolling and all of a sudden
really
this music
hoping
video will come.
I'm being a bit bleak, but I'm talking to someone who has been in the business for a while, and I'm just not sure what my place is anymore, other than doing what I do live. Live, I trust. That's real. But I'm not sure how to make friends with this other space. And I'm delighted that there are bands that can get away with that. They have enough fans and they can trust the process, and it's just a different world.
I don't have an answer for you, but I suppose it's exposure.
Is there advertising in the middle of that?
No.
So they are trusting that someone's going to go to Spotify and download and pay for it, even though they've put it up on YouTube.
Look, you are paying Spotify regardless. I mean, we're paying, what do we pay, 100 Rand a month or something for Spotify?
Okay.
I've boycotted them.
Okay, well, she's not paying Spotify.
No, but I am paying Apple
She's not
Music.
paying Spotify. You're not allowed to plug Apple in the shop.
Sorry. I just know that Spotify pay less to musicians and writers than Apple do.
This broadcast is brought to you by Apple.
Apple Music.
And yes, the Apple ties to prove it.
But what about, so do that, but what about, you've got this interest in that. I don't know how else to answer that question, which I get asked a lot.
So what else did you do, or did you just sing?
Oh, it's busy. It's busy. You write songs, It's a good question. I've had all sorts of interests in wildlife. I've had interest in projects. No, it's opened, okay, don't misunderstand me. It's opened a world to me of amazing opportunity where I've met incredible people. I've got into conservation through that. I'm not doing it justice. But in terms of the hard numbers, in terms of money, it's that sense of, like COVID. Most of us, I think, we struggled.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't perform, and then if you don't perform, you're not earning money. It's that stuff that crunches you. Otherwise, I was doing well. I think COVID was a massive bitch slap. It did.
Industry.
And hospitality, and so many of us.
Completely.
100%. No. So don't get me wrong. It's there's lots of wonderful stuff that I can tap into still. I'm doing a bit of a sad sack thing, and I don't mean to. It's a weird thing that when you're in love with the industry and you think it's going to be, you imagine this. But everything we do in life, I think, is tough. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on time.
No, I just
Which song?
I don't know.
When the stars no longer shine, when the sun falls from the sky. that shines every evening in your eyes. There's a special star that shines each time I hear that lullaby. There's a special star that shines every evening in your eyes. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, this is where I missed my 10 bandmate. Ooh, special star. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Thank you, Claire Johnston. You're amazing.
No, thank you.
No, that was awesome, Claire. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm not used to this. I'm not good at it, so I apologize for any of those.
No, I think you were fantastic. It made you sound well. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And I'll just go and see what's happening with dessert. You know everything.
And thank you, special star Claire Johnston, for spending your Sunday afternoon with us at Potted Glass Studio. We love you.